Hello, welcome to a tutorial that will show you how to create discussions in your haiku classes. So to begin, you'll need to open up a haiku page where you are the teacher on. After that, you will navigate to activities and then go to discussions. Once there, you will be brought to the discussion center. It looks pretty similar to the assignment center, except it's obviously geared towards discussions. So to get your discussion started, you're going to click on Add Discussion over here, and then you will be able to title your discussion as well as provide a brief description about this discussion. So let's call this discussion Causes of World War I. And then in this box right here, where you describe the discussion, this would be a good place to tell students what the discussion is going to be, as well as to kind of set up your expectations for the discussion. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So as you can see here, I have outlined the discussion question that I want the students to talk about, as well as given a brief guideline for how the discussion should be handled. It's kind of standard for many online discussions where in order to earn points, you have to create one original point that you are thinking critically about your own piece and your own stance, and then respond to 2 or 3 or however many you decide of your classmates' posts. I think 2 is a good number to start with because it allows them to kind of dip their toes into discussions without it being too overwhelming. One thing that I thought that I wanted to add is to thoughtfully respond to 2 of your classmates' posts. Just kind of setting that high expectation that, hey, we're going to have this discussion and then this is the standard that I want you to achieve, or I guess to reach for. Down here in the bubbles you have 3 options. You can do a whole class discussion, you can do a group discussion, or you can do a one-on-one discussion. This one-on-one discussion could be very useful for you if you wanted your students to use the discussion board as a reflection piece. So that maybe at the end of the unit or at the conclusion of a major project, they can post their reflections to the discussion boards, and they can be ensured that it will just be between you and them. This way is going to be a little bit neater than just having them send you a message via haiku. As an alternative, you could also create an assignment, and you can learn how to do that in another tutorial that I've created. But this is just one option for you to handle that using this one-to-one discussion piece. So let's go ahead and click on Next. And then it gives you a few options. If you want this discussion post to go live immediately, you would click on Anytime. And once you have concluded creating this discussion, they'll be able to go and it'll be immediately live for them. Say you wanted to set a more specific window, or you didn't want them to start working on it yet, you could set a time for maybe a week in advance, and then they have one more week to complete it. That's another option that you can have. I also want to bring your attention to security settings over here. It might be a good idea to check this box to make sure that students have to put their work in first before they can go see what their classmates have done. This will prevent your students from kind of putting together a greatest hits, like a compilation of all the good points that they might have seen other people talking about, And we'll instead kind of force them to do some of the legwork before they can even see the rest of the discussion board. Down here on location on page, you have the option of placing this discussion board on a specific page. So maybe if you're a teacher who likes to have a particular page for every week or every couple of days, you could attach that there. If you don't want to do this, you can choose a page selected as I have done here, and it will still just appear in the assignments or the discussion center, I'm sorry. Next, I wanted to talk about attaching files. Say you were going to have a discussion about a piece of literature in English, or maybe a primary source in history, or a discussion about an assignment that you had been doing in math. You could then attach it from Google Drive or upload the file, and they will have that there as a reference from them for the students. So then you'll press save, and it will show up in the discussion page. After students have created discussion posts or responded to some of their classmates, you can then go back into the discussion from the teacher's point, and you can do some pretty cool things that I'm going to show you. So let's go to the discussion that we were working with, and even as the teacher, you can also participate in the discussion. You can maybe ask the student to provide some additional evidence to what they were saying, or you can support them to thinking more critically, which is ultimately the purpose of these discussion board posts, so that they can think very critically about the documents or the readings that they've done or the stimuli that they're working with, as well as what the other students are saying. And you can kind of start to scaffold them towards those deeper levels of critical thinking. The other really cool thing that you can do within the discussion board posts is, much like you would with something like Facebook or any kind of social media, you can like a post, and you can even give it a rating of 4 or 5 stars. You could use this as a way to say, hey, great job to a student, or this could be the way that you grade the assignments. So those are just a couple of things that you can do within the discussion board feature of Haiku. So please let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.